Well, The Crimes of the Future is a direct quote. It's the title of a film by David Cronenberg from 1970. And this is a film of a dystopic society where women have all died, so there's a male society that's trying to deal with the new reality. And the film is filmed entirely in brutalist architecture. In this particular work, I bring together two things. One thing is a photo of historical costume from Yves Saint Laurent, which has beautiful modernist mannequins, and this idea of brutalist architecture housing bodies. What I wanted to do was to put these two layers together, and the body becomes a layer, a sort of vessel for this architectural information, where the body is replaced by the architecture. And the context of the engravings, it all is stemming from a psychiatric hospital in Volterra, Italy, from a patient who was called Oreste Nanetti, who was in the hospital for several years, and he etched on the walls outdoors of the hospital. He also incorporates fantastical pictures into this graffiti, with a lot of flying objects, astronauts, ideas about space travel. So in this particular bench, there's one reference. Nanetti also called himself NOF4. And similar to Crimes of the Future, the bench has a lot of information about projection, dystopia, future societies, and how a body can operate under conditions other than what we know today. So for me, this particular bench came from a documentation of this wall that I saw in a museum in St. Gallen, and the wall itself had a bench resting in front of it. So fast forward 5 years later, and I have the idea to bring the two together, as I've done with two other versions of benches which have graffiti etched onto them. So this tapestry is really about how a body finds itself or doesn't find itself in a situation of architecture or building. I like this idea of the photo being almost an inverse of a bathroom space, that it isn't light yet, you can't quite make out what's happening, you can't quite make out what's happening with the figure. And I think with this work, it's really about trying to find a body in architecture, and also trying to find this idealized female form, and where it takes you when you search for it, that it takes you to empty spaces, but these empty spaces can be filled with materiality, and that's where the space is for me. I come from painting. I also studied painting in art school, and for me, I always was interested in making paintings without using canvas or any kind of träger or carrying body that you would normally suspect. And I came to silk about 15 years ago, and I started working with transparent chiffon, and I also started working with batik technique, which is painting in reverse. I'm working from the reverse side of my vision field, so I don't really know how the paintings will turn out. And then the end painting is stretched over a mirror, so it reflects endlessly into itself and makes kind of a space in itself.